Hey, it's Greg. Good morning. I want to talk to you just a little bit about this whole enemy perspective. And before I get off on some rant, I really want you to know from the heart why I'm so passionate about this topic. I mean, this isn't easy for me to talk about. And, well, I just don't want you to think that I think I've got all the answers because, my personal perspective is going to help you realize why I'm so passionate about identifying the enemies in our lives. I used to think I was bulletproof and I thought I was here to save the world. I didn't expect anybody else to be strong. I wanted to be strong. And in my imagination, that was the case. I was saving the world, right? I mean, I built businesses and at the same time, I built my ego. And then through some circumstances in my life, some bad decisions, I was totally broken. It's probably not new information for any of you, but if you want all the raw details, I even wrote a book about it. It's called Broken, How Being Broken Unlocked the Greatest Success of My Life. And you're part of that success. The ability to actually be who I was created to be is the greatest success. Well, anyway, if you're interested in that book, it's on Amazon, or you can ask me about it. I can tell you how to get it. But I can tell you this: being broken wasn't easy. I mean, the truth is, I was broken long before I realized it. I mean, I was tangled up in self-image and looking for validation anywhere I could find it: money, people, even food. I mean, I could put on the masks that I needed to wear, but inside I hated who I was, and I felt trapped. I thought it was just my fate, it was my genetics, my personality, it's just who I am, right? But when I was broken, I mean, when I had to admit that I was broken. See, I was broken before I actually admitted it. Maybe some of you can understand what I mean by that. I mean, it took time for me to get a grip on what to do about it. I mean, I was sure that basically my life was over and that, I had my shot and I blew it, right? I mean, I was a stress eater, so when I was going through all that stress, I ate even more. I mean, I was off the charts, and I know this might sound hokey to some of you, but for me, it's just the truth. I mean, I always believed in God, but finally there came a day when I was at the end of myself, and it occurred to me that I still had choices, not only that I could make, but that every day I had to make. And in some ways, I realized I was free from like the bondage of the past because there weren't any expectations. I mean, if you're like me and you're on this health journey, just a little sidebar. I mean, if you've been heavy your whole life, I was always kind of stocky, heavy, big boned, my mom and grandma used to say. Well, there's no expectation for you to be lean and fit, right? Nobody expects you to get healthy. So you don't even expect yourself to do it. But that's when I found myself free from that old identity. And maybe you can relate to this. I mean, is it really that easy just, being broken, being free from our identity? No, I didn't say it was easy. I said it was a broken to breakthrough kind of thing. I mean, see, the person I was, I mean, I hated that person. Sure, I did some good. And a lot of people would say that I was a good person. I felt like I was a good person. I thought I was always the good guy. But, I was trying to be everything everybody else needed me to be. And inside, I was just completely broken. I mean, and once I embraced the fact that I was broken, I was actually able to be free from the things that have been holding me back. Because then I could see the enemies that were holding me back. See, I started asking myself questions and saying things out loud that I really believed something different, but I had to believe something new. I had to pick out some beliefs and try to grab a hold of them to believe that I could be different and things could be different than they were for me. I mean, for me, those out loud statements, which almost sounded funny to me at first, I felt like I was lying, were things like this. I believed God could still use me and make a difference in the world through me, even after my failure. I would say that, and I thought, Seriously, I'm not even sure I believe that. I believed that my highest creative purpose was still ahead of me and not behind me. Could I really believe that? I believed it was possible for me to use the same gifts and talents I still had and be myself even after my failure. And every night I'd ask a few questions that kind of primed the pump, questions like what would it be like if I were my best? It's crazy the answers that you come up with in the next day. When you're writing, I would always try to write down first thing in the morning the answer to those questions because my brain had a chance to think about it and dream about it, Or questions like, what am I really capable of? Man, that's a crazy question when you start trying to answer it because it goes beyond what you've experienced in the past. Am I limited by what I've experienced in the past, or am I actually capable of something else? And then what's standing between me and being the best I can be? See, that's the enemy's question. That's a question that says, what's really in the way? I mean, is it really just food, or is it really just I have no willpower? That's crazy, right? There are things that are in our way, and until we can identify them, really hard to get past them. And most of them are right here. That's why I've been calling myself the no head trash health coach, right? Because the head trash is what I failed with, and I know it's the issue for most people. Through that process, I developed a journaling process there. I call it the 90-day breakthrough. It's been really helpful for me and a lot of people. But these are really the foundational issues. Even though there's always more, you got to start somewhere. And for me, it starts, and for you, I believe it'll start by knowing what the vision is of what's possible. Even if you can't believe it yet, taking hold of it, speaking it, and then identifying the things that are standing in your way. I just wanted you to know that, it's not because I think I've got all the answers or because, I've made all these things happen. The truth is, the reason I'm sharing it's because I want you to understand some things, hopefully without having to go through some of the things I've gone through to learn them. And I don't have all the answers. I'm just trying, to help find the answers with you. Second reason I'm doing this is because my passion is to help people break free from the things that have been holding them back. That's really my entire passion for living. In order for me to be the best possible health coach I can be, I've got to realize it's not about math and about short-term changes that you or I would make. It's about the passion to become who we're capable to be. And for most of us, we don't even dare to ask the question who we're capable to be. See, I hope to help you embrace your dream and more. I want to serve you and help you become who you were created to be. I want to come against the enemies that are holding you back with you, if you'll let me. Now that you know why I'm calling myself the no head trash health coach and why I'm asking you to identify the enemies holding you back, I hope you can be free to be the best you can be and to identify those enemies as a part of this process. And that freedom really is just a series of choices that you get a chance to start making today and every day. You won't be perfect, and neither will I. But you can be steadily on the path of breakthrough, and you can take other people with you. You will make a difference in the world, and you'll make a difference in yourself because it starts right there. Thanks for letting me be just a little bit vulnerable today. The truth is, it's hard. But I want to be the person who's having a positive impact on everyone I meet. And I hope that I can have a positive impact on you.